in my city. See, Will. Portland.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how you doing today, Sewell?
Man, I'm blessed, highly favored. I'm feeling good.
Right on.
Yeah.
So where'd you grow up?
So I mostly grew up in Portland, Oregon, for the most part. But I have also spent a lot of my life in Southern California, like in Riverside, Corona, Norco, like Southern California, basically.
What were you doing out there?
So one parent lived in Portland, one lived in California. So I would spend my summers down there, in the LA County. Then just growing up, really, school, things like that.
Who lived where, as far as your parents go?
So my mom lived in California, and then my dad lived here. So, but my memories really start in California. So, because I moved up there at like 3-4 years old. And then I came back to Portland and like right after elementary school or like fifth grade around that time. But then I would do like I said, the back and forth holidays, spend my summers over there. And then that's where, my lifestyle out there was a lot different than Portland, basically.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we're a lot poorer in California. So I'm one of them cats that I lived in motels, shelters, trailers. So I lived like a more grimier type of lifestyle, I'll say. Struggled, but gave me a lot of knowledge and street smarts, I would say. But then in Portland, my dad, he had, more money working for the city of Portland and whatnot. But, it was Portland was still a all right situation, but we had more money now, I'll say, in Portland than I had in California. So that both affected me in different ways.
Right on. So, how did you get into crypto and digital currencies from like after you quote unquote grew up? So from like 18 or so.
Yeah.
What did you do in between the spaces up until now?
Okay. So like honestly, I didn't know about none of this stuff. It was more of like growing up, it was like I say, it was a lot of poverty. And then I was like, eventually I wanted to like, let's say around 18, 19, 20, just wanted to make some money, but I was caught up in sports and what they told me to go to school and whatnot. So about time I graduated out of college, I started reading books like, books like For Dummies, like How to Invest for Dummies and yeah, all of that type of stuff, Robert Kiyosaki. So I started going to like Amway networking events and trying to figure out the money. But that took years went by. And then what happened was, let's say about 2020, maybe 3-4 years ago, I really started tapping into crypto. Excuse me, 2018 is when I first started tapping into crypto, but did not understand it just hearing about Bitcoin. Like literally met some like people on the max and it was like, man, you heard of this? It was like that type of vibe. Then so I did a little research, bought a little crypto, ended up selling it, didn't know what I was doing, but I came back like 2 years later, especially during COVID, and was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. And so then just studying and just reading what they call white papers. It's like business plans for cryptocurrency companies. And then just really tapping in to figure out what Bitcoin was. And then it kind of pretty much snowballed and led into where I'm at, where most of my life now is based on cryptocurrency.
What did you study in school, in college?
Communications. So I went to Benson High School. It's a polytechnic high school. And then there I did photography, video, and all of the stuff that's involved with communications. But then after that, went to college, multiple different schools, still studying the same things. And it was a bigger base in media and then video production.
Right on. And then, so you learn all this stuff about crypto. And then did that kind of inspire like passive income network and then
Yes.
just you from learning and then because I want to ask you like I think most people want to learn useful things.
Yeah.
So what inspires you to like share with other people?
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, based on my background, right, I got this like vibe where I was one of them people that was like, man, if they would have, I was one of the kids, if they would have really educated me, my whole life would have been different because I apply information and I feel like I'm a sponge, I mean, I can learn stuff real quick. So what inspired was like literally growing. Like, let's go back to when I was like 21, right? My brother and I had a program called Raising the Level, and that's short for Raising the Level of Consciousness and Awareness. And then what we would do would go around the community. We started like book clubs, reading books on Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, like black revolutionaries like Huey P. Newton. So from doing those things, it got into doing education, just hosting classes and teaching people, applying for grants, and then basically going out there and like fighting that fight, right? And then around like Trayvon Martin, those his murder, and then all these court cases, it just only activated me more and more. So I make music as well, so multifaceted. So then the music started displaying that black culture and stuff. And we made an album called Black Love to just highlight the community. So my background was more of like any positive information that can strengthen me. I would just try to share that with the homies, share that with people in my community. But that same motto I see with financial literacy and cryptocurrency. Because after a while, I was like, I ended up, homeless and poor, but I had all this black knowledge and information, and I was hella educated. And I was like, okay, I know how to do workshops. I know how to make clothes. I know how to make music. I know how to do all these things, but I don't know how to make no money. So that's a lot of people. So I pivot eventually, basically because of crypto as well. I was like, okay, started learning how to make money in cryptocurrency, and then I started, taking that back in the stock market as well. But with crypto, at the time that I really started paying attention, we was in something they call a bull market, and that's when basically money it's a lot easier to make money in the bull market. Right now, we in a bear market. We can see all the banks collapsing, people getting fired from jobs. So in a bull market, it's the opposite. It's just like everyone's hiring, everybody got money, which means all the assets go up in value. And then that right there was like, okay, I can bring this back to my community. Because that was what we was missing when we were throwing all our black events. We were begging, white folks. We was asking for grants. I was like, well, what if we had our own money? And then passive income bred out of that. I did a 12-month video span, right? Or not 12 months. Yes, 12 months. So I was doing a video on YouTube, and this was like the start of Passive Income Network. I was like, I got a goal to make, was it $1,000 a month in passive income? And then when we mean passive income, I'm talking about literally you buy an asset and then it sends you money, basically, a dividend. It just pays you out daily, weekly, monthly, or whatever that is. But my first video of that January month, I made, it was like $1, less than $1 of passive income. And I was proud because I was like, well, shit, I don't know anybody else that makes money like that. Just like, then the next month it went to like $4 or $5. Then the third month it was at like 7, 8, 9. And I started adding more money in with the crypto staking, which is just like a dividend. It pays you money for basically providing liquidity into the market. You get rewarded for it. But I did a whole video series, and by this 12th month, I did reach my goal at $1,000.
Right on.
And I said, that's a game changer.
Yeah, for sure. I think $1,000 a month passively would change most people's lives.
Bro, yeah, 200 a month, you know what I mean? But yeah, so, and then I learned a lot from that right there. And that's what gave my addiction of like, I need to put as much money as I can into the market, whatever asset that may be,
What is your opinion on just black people in like the finance realm and / specifically crypto?
I think we need more of us, right? It's an opportunity. And I think, honestly, I feel like black people are sleeping on it from multiple perspectives. Like as investors, we're sleeping on it. I think we're sleeping on it as business or startup developers, right? Because there's a lot of opportunity in there to like, if you got an idea and you can, especially if you're tech savvy, you can then go present that idea to venture capitalists or foundations, and then they will literally give you the money to fulfill your idea. And there's a statistic that like with venture capital money, 99% of it goes to white males. And that's a problem, right? Women and black people, if you group all of women and black people together as a group, we get 1% of the money. And then that's a missed opportunity. So as investing, even trading, right? Money market going up or down, you can make money there. I feel like we're missing that as a whole. But at the same time, there is a new wave of people like myself that are talking about it every day, every week. And I have some results. No, I didn't make millions from this, but I did make some money where it can change my life, plus provide me like business opportunities. So just knowing this stuff, it let me put myself in a position where I can go make money with these startups, different companies who have raised millions of dollars, and they'll go pay me to do stuff for them. And then I also will invest the money. So there's guys like, let me give a few shout outs if y'all watching this for this information, like Earn Your Leisure is a nice platform that I like to watch. They talk about this space a little bit, but Wall Street Trapper, another one, of course, Passive Income Network. There's a few other guys online too, Keenan Grace, Chris Sane. So there's all these black people, I've never heard of them, right? I was one of them people like most of us that just watched The Breakfast Club with DJ Envy and them, and then most of us do is just learn about rap. But rappers don't teach you about money, nor do they talk about money. They get all their money off tours, and most of it don't even come from albums. So again, just back to that question, I think it's a missed opportunity if we don't get more aggressive in this space. Because all the black people I know, and if we mean black Americans, that's what we're talking about, but all the black people outside of America, not all of them, but a lot of them I interact with are in from some African country, or they're from Europe, or they're from some island country. And I feel like they're tapped in and more engaged in crypto. So they're getting, I feel like, more money.
And so I follow you on Instagram and stuff, and then it seems like you're killing it. It seems like you're having a good time. So,
Yes.
Because I've seen you like traveling and talking about crypto and kind of just educating people. Can you speak on that, or just let me know how that's been for you?
Oh yeah, it's been a life changer. I'm telling you, my whole life has changed because of crypto, like literally. So, for one, doing my interview series, right? This is how I meet a lot of people. So again, like most weeks, I talk to people from all around the world. Whether, like I said, somewhere in Europe, somewhere in Africa, somewhere in South America. I probably talk to more foreigners now than I do Americans at this point. And there's opportunities there, like I was saying. But I've been to Iceland recently, in Reykjavik. I went out there to host a workshop for this startup. Basically, they hired me, flew me out there, and booked my flights and all that. And then I went out there to do a workshop for a cryptocurrency workshop, NFTs, and then teach all the people out in Reykjavik. So we hosted it at a hostel during, what's it called? Reykjavik International Film Festival. So I basically participated in that. And so that was a big opportunity. Went to Dubai recently in the United Arab Emirates to do podcasting out there and interviews. So that was amazing. Where else? I just came back from Paris, went to Paris, got a few other things in the work, but essentially it just created opportunity to just go overseas, right? And then now I'm getting exposure to different cultures and different people, and I have this addiction now to get out the U.S. I'm one of the people that believe the grass is greener on the other side, you know what I mean, depending on what you got going on. But yeah, that's essentially it. Opportunity overseas, again, because I get a lot of contracts now with foreigners. So people, and I proved a point to myself that I have a lot of followers on depending on what site you're looking on, but I don't have that much. But I make money off of what I'm doing, right? So let me break down a little bit what I do for these companies. I go out there and I do podcasting, like in person at events, like I was doing at NFT Paris. I also network for companies because of my like interview show. I meet people and then I can go behind the scenes, connect them, help set up deals. And I do a big thing of making tutorial videos. So teaching people how to use different websites or decentralized applications. I do a lot of education basically. And then they be like, okay, I need that. And then another key too is that since I'm an American, right, I bring a different flavor, but I'm not a white American, I'm a black American. So when I do go places, it's way easier for people to resonate. They like already feel my vibe. But then when I open my mouth, they're like, oh, he's American. Then I get a little bit different treatment, honestly.
Right on. And then, yeah, it's amazing, man. What would you say to your younger self, like maybe 15 years ago, about how your life is now and You know, maybe there's like a young black kid that's 15 years old right now, wondering like, how can I be like Sewell right now? These are all just amazing stories.
Yeah. I'll tell me. See, Will tell his younger self like, "You did it, bro. You know what I mean. You did your thing." But what I tell the youth right now, it's like, especially black youth, I say, look beyond America. And this is no knock to the United States of America. I pay my taxes, and I, do a little bit of voting here and there. But it's like, look beyond America. Why? Is because they value us. Our history here is real bloody, as we all know. They enslaved us. They never paid us, and they pay everybody else but us. But at the same time, we have opportunities now because of the colonialism and imperialism that they did do around the world. Everybody speak English, so and they respect you more, in my opinion. So when I tell them like try to go overseas is to get the cultural experiences and to learn that like countries like France, even go to Africa and Tunis, places like that, or Arab countries, and depending on what South American countries, but definitely Europe as well, that your tax money goes to health insurance. Your tax money goes to things that actually help you out. And here, our tax money goes to the ultra elite, right? And that's just about money and taxes. But then it's like you can get exposed to different languages and then meeting different people. Like even my wife too, I'm married now, young C, married now. But even my wife, she's from Hawaii, right? So she's a mixture of Fijian, Chinese, and she part white as well. So what we on is like I became more of a global thinker. And this is like, again, no knock to America, but I feel like we are all trapped in a box. So I tell the little black youth, do not get trapped in a box, because America even has a box on information. Elsewhere, like for example, the first university, our peoples built that, the Moroccans, right? They built the first university at Salamanca in Spain, and hundreds of years ago. So one would think that we're not educated, but the world knows we're educated. We them people outside the world, right? So it's a lot of respect. But again, as a black American, your presence is different everywhere else because you're no longer an African, and especially when you open your mouth. You might look like one, but you're a different breed of a man right now. And I see that as opportunity, basically. So yeah, definitely, especially with social media, tap in with foreigners. And I'll tell you, it's going to get a little bit weird talking to them at first because they speaking to you in a second, third, fourth, fifth language, right? So you got to get comfortable with that. Then another thing is you got to learn time zones, right? America is based off of the East Coast time. And then a lot of the world is too. But when I'm talking to like India, they about 12 hours ahead. In Dubai and United Emirates, the Arabs, they're about 12 hours ahead. Australians, they're about a day and a half ahead. So you got to know about these things basically. And then crypto helped me learn that because the market is 24/7. It does not close, which means there's opportunity to deploy your capital and make money 24/7 a day, basically.
Then, do you want to highlight some of your maybe some just goals for the next 5 years or so? Just things you want to do.
Yes. You know what? Speaking of that, I used to do workshops on 5-year plans. So yeah, a goal is to own more property. I want some rental properties. I'm trying to build up my my long-term investment portfolio like really, really nice. And then I want to get better as a day trader and a swing trader. So that means just being able to buy something and sell it within a few minutes all the way up to maybe a few months and make profit on it. So I want to do that. I'm trying to reduce my tax bill. I want to make sure I can keep my taxes low as possible. Kids, we want to bring in some kids. And then a big thing is to get a foreign citizenship, right? Maybe Ghana or in like Portugal. Those are big targets, or somewhere. And I just want citizenship in Africa, and I want citizenship in Europe. And then I want to leave Portland and move to Hawaii or Portugal full time, and then no longer live here. And then I want to come back to America just to get money and to then spread the education and the information. So that's the 5-year plan.
Right on, Will. Well, thank you for speaking with us today. Any last messages to the people watching?
Yeah, make sure you subscribe. You know, Ken, to what Ken got going. Subscribe, support this man, and then support all the brothers out here who grinding. That's what I like to do. Buy people's products. Because why? Because if you selling a product, you put that energy back out there, right? So that's why I want to leave, like, spend money with other people when they selling something. And then that stuff definitely comes back to you when you ready to sell something. That's my message.
Right on. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate you. Took a trip to see what's up. I ended up coming up. How did your trip go? Got me a bag. What did you wear? Pop me a tag. Made a few moves. Talk to him smooth. Close a few deals. Got me a bag. Wishing on a star. Renewable energy. Light all around me. They hate here plenty. But I'm too bright. I'm serving my city. I got the light. I'm bringing it with me. Put it on your house if you got ownership. Who control the light? That be the mothership. How did you get on? I did some other shit. Put your own money up if you love this shit. I love the game of life. Every day roll the dice. Win once, you can win twice. I swear to God, I've been nice. The timing wasn't right. All my niggas went left. Work on it till my flow right. See, Will the last one left. If you need work, hit me up or call my guys. We flipping these panels like they bricks, like they pies. Look, ma, now I'm the plug. Serving the city we love. I came up off of a dub. On my channel, give me a sub. Serving the city we love. Had to connect with the plug. Took a trip to see what's up. I ended up coming up. How did your trip go? Got me a bag. What did you wear? Pop me a tag. Made a few moves. Talk to him smooth. Close a few deals. Got me a bag. I got the power like Pikachu. I make my own flips, never needed you. If it's competition, I'm beating you. Anywhere I'm at, I'm eating food. I got veggies on my plate. On occasion, I'll eat a steak. When I want one, I bust a grape. Send a check before it's too late. I'm serving the city. I'm Big Papa like Biggie. I'm touching some money. I'm rubbing my tummy. Came from nothing, we was bumming. Dragon Ball with the Kamehame. On a boat, I'm eating ahi. In Hawaii, who can stop me? Serving the city we love. Had to connect with the plug. Took a trip to see what's up. I ended up coming up. How did your trip go? Got me a bag. What did you wear? Pop me a tag. Made a few moves. Talk to him smooth. Close a few deals. Got me a bag. Serving the city we love. Had to connect with the plug. Took a trip to see what's up. I ended up coming up. How did your trip go? Got me a bag. What did you wear? Pop me a tag. Made a few moves. Talk to him smooth. Close a few deals. Got me a bag.